Welcome back to the Rockhound Podcast. We're thrilled to have you here, and you might notice that we have a very thrilling guest on this evening as well. So we're going to get right to it and let him introduce himself.
Excellent. Well, I can't introduce myself without my hat on.
Almost didn't recognize you.
So hello, everyone. Dan Hurd with Dan Hurd Prospecting here. Welcome to the Rockhound Podcast. Yes, I don't know how much I have to introduce myself to your viewers, but I am Dan Hurd. I do run a YouTube channel on mining, prospecting, rock hounding, and treasure hunting. And yeah, I've been doing that for many, many years now. Just about, actually, within probably 2 or 3 weeks, I'm going to flip over to 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah, I'm just excited to be here with you guys tonight.
You're going to get the button.
That's so awesome.
Welcome. Yeah, we're so pleased to have you be here with us. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And moving on down the line, Kurt, why don't you introduce yourself?
My name is Kurt with Rock.Hounding.Adventures out here in Western Colorado.
This week I got home about like 5 minutes ago, so I didn't have time to come up with a fake name. So it's just something clever, I'm sure.
leave it in the comments. Okay?
If I did come up with a fake name, it would have been clever.
All right. Well, welcome, Mr. Clever. And yeah, I'm as per tradition, Karen, out here on the really chilly but facety Oregon coast of Ozone Fine Art Ventures. And that does it for who's in the room right now. We're going to go straight on to shouts. First, let me thank Justin Prim for being on the podcast. That was so much fun and very informative. If you didn't get a chance to watch it, go check that out. Even my mom called me and told me like the royal phone, and she just loved it. Lisa Largent thought it was outstanding and really dug Justin's demeanor, like for all of his videos and everything, the teaching and enjoying the history. Kyla Abiglen enjoyed Justin when he was on Currently Rockhounding. And I actually didn't know that he might be available until I saw him on that. And I reached out to Jared and I was like, how do I get Justin on the show? And so he was actually kind of our connection. So thank you, Jared, for that. That was awesome. And Kyla also missed Kurt and Kyle. So you guys are loved. Missing you from the last show. Julie McKenna thought it was awesome as well. And she was fast. Right.
That was a delayed reappearance.
I know.
I was clicking buttons really fast, like there's so many buttons I gotta click.
Faster on the button. So she actually was really happy about the stories of all of the different faceting world, which is, you can only imagine if you're just sitting around and having a coffee or a beer with Justin, that you could just like get an entire, multi-century long explanation of the faceting world. The Sandmaker was happy about it and said we all rocked, pun intended. Thank you, Andy. And the Al Gold Prospecting is just getting into rock hounding and cabbing and hopefully faceting soon. Thanked us for the info. Well, thank you for chiming in, Al, and good luck. I just started faceting too. So we can do this together.
Like 3 days ago.
Yeah. You guys are all going to get to hear plenty more about that. And so go follow Justin Prim's channel. He's got a great channel on YouTube. He's over there on the Instagrams and all that other kind of good stuff for the history and faceting he teaches as well. And to all of you in the chat, that we love you, and all of you watching out there, let us know what you're up to and where you're doing that from in the comments, and them's the shouts. So how was your week, Dan? Tell us about what kinds of projects you're on.
Well, about a month ago, not about a month ago, about 3 weeks ago, we got a snowstorm up here in BC that put an end to my season. It really did, because, I do everything outdoors. So for the last few weeks, I've been, doing things around the house, doing a lot of social media, editing videos, Just today, I actually headed up. Well, I headed up the mountain briefly into the snow to do an intro for a video, and then I shot the video in my garage. People like to see outdoors more than indoor prospecting, so I went and did the intro and outro, actually, at least outdoors. And then I shot a video today just going through some black sand concentrates, extracting gold from it.
Cool.
I'll probably continue that tomorrow. I didn't get it done today. And then I've just been doing a heck of a lot of, the rock store, the online store business, cutting rocks, posting rocks, doing a little bit of cabbing. I don't have cabbing machines here at the house, so I have to go off to our club shop to do our cabbing. But yeah, a lot of indoor stuff, unfortunately. Much rather be outside, enjoying the great outdoors, but I'm not really a winter sports guy. I don't like skiing and stuff like that. So with so much snow around, I'm kind of stuck at the moment.
I hear you.
Yeah,
I relate so much to that.
Yeah, it's studio season, folks.
Yep.
Yeah, but there's lots of work to do. I'm editing. I've got probably, I'm guessing, a dozen videos sort of on the shelf waiting to go out for the next 2 or 3 months when I can't get out there filming. So I'm just getting those things ready, getting thumbnails, getting them all uploaded and ready to go. I know there's a lot of people that don't like the fact that I post some videos, a month or 2 months after I shot them. But I really think it's important to keep consistency on YouTube, that you have something new every week. So,
Yep.
over the fall, I shot a lot of videos, and now I'm just sort of holding on to them, waiting for the right time to put them out. And it gives me something to do. Well, I can't get out there.
I like I like the idea of videos in the incubator.
Yes.
Wait till they hatch.
Exactly. Just waiting for the right time.
Cool. Well, I hope you're staying warm anyhow.
Oh, yes. Yes, I don't go outside too much. I don't like the cold.
Which is a head scratcher where you are.
Yeah, I went out about a week and a half ago up to the Fraser River. We had one warm day, so I just took advantage and I found a spot that I could get into and go and check out the river. I did a little bit of high banking for gold. I found a tiny little bit, but it was so nice just to get out there and do something. But I don't think there'll be any more of those until spring now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the boat I'm in also.
Yep, same.
Well, thank you for filling us in on what you're working on. And Kurt, how about you?
Well, we had our first actual winter storm blow through last night, so we got 5 inches of snow.
Ooh.
And which is the most this year so far. But once the snow clouds cleared out, it was so beautiful, walking outside at 2 a.m, clear sky, the mountains you can see miles away, all lit up from the snow and the moonlight. It was extremely beautiful. And and that was last night, and today it's stuck, and now it's all ice and slippery. And I was outside shoveling and hacking away with the pick, trying to make a trail to get up to the garage. And right before the snow came, I was outside cutting up some petrified wood that I found up in Vermont a couple of years ago, and was doing some cabbing, and have been doing some wire wrapping, which y'all will see in show and tell. A couple of pieces I've been working on. And then last week I wasn't here because our alternator went out on the car, so I wasn't able to get back here in time for that show, and that our vehicle will be being worked on Monday, so I'll have a vehicle again. And other than that, just stuck at the house in the cold, drinking coffee.
Staying up until 2 a.m.
Yeah. 2 a.m., yeah.
That vision that you just painted us, though, of the moonlit snowy mountains, that is so brilliant. I just love it when it's like that. It just seems like the contrast and the brightness is just pumped up. It's so gorgeous.
Oh yeah, it really is.
All right. Well, thank you for that. And Theo, man who has clever name.
It got cold, it snowed, it thawed, and now the snow is back and it's cold again. Even when it thawed, it only thawed because of the sun. It was still like 12 degrees. So there's no rock hounding anywhere in sight. So we've been doing a whole lot of cabbing and ordered silver, and I reclaimed some of my scrap silver. So we're going to be doing some casting, I think, to make some rings or pendants or something here soon.
How much fun playing with fire.
Yeah. I was thinking about doing some cuttlebone casting. So that's so cool. So that might be an upcoming video. I've never done it before, so I'm excited to try it. Other than that,
to do it.
Yeah, I do. I really do. I learned about it like a year ago, and I'm like, all right, I got to do this at some point. I think I talked about it last week, but I got a bunch of opals. So we did a bunch of triplets. Really, really pretty. Some of them came out so nice. And then my buddy Derek, the Rock Master, sent me a box filled with amazingness that I will be showing for show and tell. And I did both of those unboxings for a video that will be coming out Saturday. Other than that, working on a video for the second channel, which hopefully should be done by Saturday. And after that, I think it's time to set upon the giant ammonite. I want that thing done. It's going to be so nice. So
I'm so excited for that.
It's going to be so cool. So we got to get the scribe all nice and serviced and ready to go. And yeah, I'm still mentally preparing for the amount of work that it's going to be, but it'll be worth it.
Oh yeah, the prep I think is probably just going to be a thrill. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I don't see how that like, you know, Cheshire cat grin's gonna come off your face.
Well, it's really stressful is the thing, because the more I inspect it, the more I keep finding little fractures. So I'm like trying to, you know, plug all the holes before the flood hits, so to speak. So I'm getting a little nervous. It's going to be really slow going just because I don't want it to fall apart on me, because I've had that happen with bigger ammonites, and it is a 2,000 piece puzzle that you'll never fully get back together. So I'm trying to stop it before it happens, but I was going to put it off for a while, and then I was looking at it today and I saw flashes of red ammonite, and I'm like, all right, time to get this thing done and polish it, because that's going to be so pretty.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I think that's going to be amazing. Is there like a lot of work to do on your scribe, or is it just
yes, only a little bit of the top face is actually out of the concretion. Like 70% of the ammonite is still in concretion, so it's going to be very slow going. Doesn't help that the thing weighs like 50 pounds too, so it's going to be very, very slow, but worth it. So we're probably going to start that on Saturday, most likely. I'll keep you guys updated on the progress on that one, because it's probably going to be a several week thing.
that egg won't be hatching for quite some time.
No, that's going to be very slow and stressful. But other than that, that was my whole week.
Awesome. Can anybody else hear my dog like super excited about being outside my door?
No, I didn't at all.
Okay, good. That's a wahi, and he's doing this sad like howl. Okay, I'm glad that you guys can't hear that and that you're not getting bummed out. All right, so that's your week?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. Well, me, I've been trying to stay out of the cold. Also, the Oregon coast gets very, very chilly, even though it doesn't look like it's that cold. It's like, oh, it's only 40 degrees. But they say like the real feel is like 20 or something. I'm like, I love AccuWeather for like, yes, that's exactly how I feel. It's way too cold for me. But I was working on getting the bugs out of my faceting machine. I did find out that it's broken. It's not calibrated properly. With Theo's help, like definitely, being moral support. We have different machines, and so he didn't exactly know how to help me, but like, no, you can do this. And so I'm like out there with the protractor trying to figure out the degrees off it was and everything, and I actually figured it out, which was like. Yes. Stunning to me. Yeah, like me math, so it all worked out, and I was able to work on my very first stone, which stick around for the show and tell, you get to see how that went. And all the while, Steve has been sick, so I'm trying not to get that. And so I have some array of drinks over here, like some elixirs that I'm trying to keep me out of the woods as far as that's concerned. Everybody's sick. Are you guys sick? I mean, it just seems like everybody.
Nope.
Okay,
No, that was
Kyle,
last week.
well, right. Everybody's been handing the bugs around. So
Yeah.
Stay away from bugs.
Stop sharing.
Yeah, Kyle, man behind the curtain, sick, and his family over there. So yeah, everybody stay healthy. And so yeah, it's been real roller coaster ride. It's broken. I can't do it. Oh no, I can do it. Oh, like, and so you'll see more of the story later, but it's been quite the week. And all about that is about it. And so
There's a healthy dose of peer pressure in there as well.
Theo, I swear, I'm probably going to say it several times through this evening. It would not have happened without you. Thank you so much for your support.
Of course.
Yeah, like he was like my constant like, bing. Oh, it's Theo asking how the stone is doing. Bing. So, I'd walk away from the machine. I don't think this is working, and like, bing. So it was good. It was good. And so that all being said, let's get on to the juicy details about our guest. And so we always love to start off with this question about how did you get into this crazy rock business in the first place?
Well, I think it's more of a case of how did I get into prospecting, because majority of what I do is for gold, although rock has, taken over a bigger portion of that lately. But in the end, it's all treasure hunting. It's all nature's treasure out there, looking for nature's treasure.
Oh yeah.
And how I really got into it there was when I was a little kid, when I was like a, 11-year-old, 10-year-old, my dad took me out gold panning. And I had a heck of a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, gold panning with my dad. And, we did that for a few years, but then I became a teenager and other things got my interest, girls, all that kind of stuff. And I stopped. I didn't do it anymore. And then for 20 more years, I just went off and lived my life and got a career and did everything. And then I had kids of my own. And I remembered how much I enjoyed gold panning with my dad. So I thought, I'll take the boys out gold panning. They'll enjoy that. They'll have fun. And well, the boys liked it somewhat, but I fell in love with it again. I remembered how much fun that was. And, it wasn't just the gold panning. It was finding the rocks. It was rock hounding. It was an excuse to get outdoors doing things. And what better excuse than, looking for treasures that nature's left behind for you. And from there, the boys went off and did other things. They weren't all that interested in it. They discovered computers and girls and all that kind of stuff. And, Dad, you go away. Yeah, Dad, go away. So I've been out doing that ever since and absolutely loving it.
Wow. And thank you for taking us all along with you, because
yes,
we enjoy it.
Yeah. To start off the YouTube thing, I like to know what I'm doing. I like to learn. When I started gold panning, I wanted to learn more about gold panning. So I turned to YouTube. And there was a guy on YouTube doing gold panning videos, Jeff Williams. You guys might be familiar with him. I watched a bunch of his stuff, a lot of his stuff. And at one point I was out, it was actually New Year's, I think 2014, New Year's Day. And we decided to see if we could push our way in through the snow to a creek that we know has gold. It's my Trout Creek claim, actually. It's been featured in many videos. And we got all the way up to the creek, and we did a gold pan in the snow, broke through the ice, did a gold pan, and I took a whole bunch of pictures that day. Just still pictures with my camera. Got home, and I thought, well, Jeff's posting all of his stuff. Why don't I put these pictures to music and post it to YouTube? So I did that, and that was my first video. I probably got 20 or 30 views in the first week or something like that, and it surprised me that anyone would watch my stuff at all. And from there, I just started experimenting, trying more things, doing more videos. And, in the end, I kind of owe it to Jeff for being that sort of mentor, if you will, that person that I tried to follow along, mimic. And this is where I am today.
Awesome story.
Have you ever got to meet Jeff before yet?
What was that?
Have you ever got to meet Jeff yet?
Not yet. No, I've talked to them a couple times on email. I know Paul, a good friend of mine, Pioneer Polly. He's got to meet Jeff, and a few of the other YouTubers that I've hung out with lots have. And we're hoping this spring that I might be able to get to go down to, the southern states, okay, California, that area. And I hopefully will get a chance to meet him at that point.
Awesome that you're coming down here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
If you come through Oregon, come say hi.
I've
Me and Kyle
been
are both
down
there.
to Washington a fair bit lately because Jason from Mount Baker Mining and I have done a lot of videos together lately. So I'm getting more comfortable driving, across the line into the States there. And more of that will happen in the future.
Very
Nice.
cool. Yeah,
That's
great
cool.
to
I was
hear.
gonna say you're welcome in Montana anytime.
Oh, I went down to Montana a few years back looking for sapphires.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just, we did the tourist thing. We went to Gem Mountain and,
Yep.
yeah, and it was so much fun.
It is. It's always a blast.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, so who's next with the big question? Kurt?
Well, let's see. You already answered a few of the questions I had that I wrote down from how was your week or and so let's see. So we all know gold is your number one mineral to find. What's your second favorite?
Gold is what I do most of. I don't know if it's my number one anymore.
Oh.
I absolutely love rock hounding. And even though I do mostly gold videos, finding gold is a lot of work. It's hard. Yeah. You often come away empty-handed. I won't say disappointed because you're always having fun, but you often come away without very much. And the older I get, the harder it is to do all that physical work, actually. It's a lot of work. So I have been having a heck of a lot of fun searching for agates. Agates is a great one because around here, they're everywhere. And a lot of searching for agates is just, walking. You go up to the hills to talus slopes and just walk and see what you can find. And that's a very pleasant, calm, sort of meditative way of rock hounding. So I love that. Of course, I love my ocean picture stone.
Yes.
That
That's amazing.
Finding the ocean picture stone just changed everything I do. It's created a whole new business for me, everything. I love being up there. But rocks in general, I don't know if I have a favorite other than, the ocean picture stone, but
what about
gold
fossils
versus rocks? I think right now rocks is a lot more fun for me.
Great answer.
Yeah, that's great. We won't make you pick a favorite because I know that I couldn't answer that question either.
I have to say the ocean picture stone is my favorite.
Yeah.
And,
that stuff is amazing.
Makes total sense.
I don't know if the camera actually picks this up. I have a terrible laptop I'm on right now with a terrible camera, but that there is
yeah.
I just got chills.
Right.
That's the Dana Blue seam. So that's the seam I named after my wife. Because she actually found this seam on the claim, and it's a brighter blue than anything else we have found on the claim by a lot.
Did she squeal when that happened?
She did come running up to get me. This camera is terrible. I hate the fact that it's showing it so pale because it is such a bright blue.
Wow.
I would love to make a pair of knife handles out of that.
Yeah, so there we go. My favorite stone, the Dana Blue ocean picture stone.
Your wife approves of that selection. Excellent choice. You had an interesting sidecar to your original question, Kurt, about fossils.
What?
You were asking,
Yeah. Well, he was saying he's having a hard time pinpointing what is his favorite. So I was just asking, what about fossils? Like, do you have a favorite fossil you like to hunt for? Because I was watching a video a while back of you and what's
Skippy the fossil freak.
Skippy.
Yes. Yeah. He's amazing. He is a hoot.
I bet.
Strangely enough, fossils don't do it for me. And I understand there's at least one of you, I think it's Theo, that is a fossil guy.
Yep.
So I apologize.
Oh, no worries.
But fossils don't really do it for me. And I have had lots of opportunity to go with Skippy. I could go with Skippy every day of the week if I want to.
Oh, cool.
There's a bunch of other fossil sites around here, but they just don't excite me. Yep. But again, it's fun. It's fun to get out. It's fun to look for that treasure. I don't have a collection of fossils. I've gotten lots of great ones when I was out with Skippy, but I don't, have a display of fossils or anything like that. Yeah.
That's a great question. And I mean, I get it. Different strokes for different folks. I think that there's at least three of us here in the room that are totally into fossils.
But honestly, though, even on that frame, I am a fossil diehard, but I think I would lose interest in fossils if it was the only thing I went hunting for. Like having the quartz crystals, the Montana agates, the jaspers, the petrified wood, when we go screening for garnets, you need something else. Otherwise, it gets a little dry, Yeah. Pun intended.
Yeah. I don't know. If you're in Florida, they're wet.
That's true. Actually, yeah.
That's true. Snorkeling and whatnot. Yeah.
Yep. That's such a weird experience going from fossil hunting in the middle of Badlands to fossil hunting waist deep in water. It's strange.
Antithesis.
Yeah. It doesn't get much more different.
But it does make sense that they're everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. So
awesome.
Before I ask my question, I wanted to say something, and I'm going to pull this up just so that I know I'm getting the name 100% proper. I actually have you to thank for getting into rock hounding 7 years ago. I started getting into it a little bit, did some research on what was around me, and learned that garnets were around me. And I found your video 7 years ago, In Search of Faceted Gemstone Garnets. And that lit such a huge fire under me to start getting into rock hunting. So I made my own gen screens, went out to the Ruby range, and we found a lot of really nice almandine garnets. And that was literally the first thing that started this whole journey of being a rock hound. So I have you to thank for that, sir.
You're welcome. or I'm sorry. I'm not sure which is the right answer there.
Depends on who you ask.
Yeah. Probably. For me, you're welcome. For Alexis, probably I'm sorry. But no, so okay, my question is the ocean picture stone is so bizarre. It's so cool. So did you know about that material in that area, or was it kind of just a happy stumbling upon, or were you out actually trying to locate that stuff?
It was a known deposit from back in the 80s, I believe.
Okay.
It was actually mined quite similar to what I'm doing right now back in the 80s, but the timing of that was wrong for the miner. He would pull out thousands of tons of this material that is beautiful lapidary stuff, and then try to sell it on the side of the road on a 2-bit nothing highway in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, man.
Sure, tourists would drive by and stop at his little booth and buy a little piece or something, but he couldn't make a business of it because it was the wrong timing. Now with the internet, I can market this stuff to the world, and I can sell it all over. People from all over the place can see it live on camera. Right now, they can see a piece sitting right here.
It's so cool.
But,
oh, man.
It was a known deposit. He mined it a bunch. Didn't really get anywhere with it because of the era he was in. And then gold was found in the area. All around were small gold deposits. Okay. And a gold mining company bought up every claim on the whole valley in search for gold. They weren't concerned about rocks at all. So they just let it sit. And because it was claimed, no one else could go in there. They weren't allowed to go in there. Mm-hmm. And the pit just sat dormant for about 40 years.
Wow.
It was a very known area in the rock hunting community in BC here. Everyone knew of the Ocean Picture Stone quarry. There were rumors that it was destroyed, that the gold company blasted it and destroyed everything. The rumors were very false, as you know.
Yeah.
But for 40 years, no one did anything with it. Eventually, the gold mining company decided there wasn't enough potential there, and they let the claims lapse. And on that day, it lapsed. There must have been hundreds of people trying for it, and I was just the luckiest person. Hit the button at the right time. I got through and got the claim. It was like winning the lottery.
Yeah.
Seriously.
That is so cool.
That is.
Meant to be, apparently.
Yeah.
and in good hands.
Yes.
You know?
And we went up there, like it was months before we could get up there because it lapsed over the winter. And in the spring when we went up there, we had no idea what we would find because the rumors were it was destroyed and there was nothing left. And we just went and started investigating, hiking the hill, seeing what we could find. And sure enough, we found evidence right away of bluestone, tracked that bluestone back to its source, and found the original pits from the original miner. And it was just outstanding so cool. What you could see on the ground without even digging. It was just right there in front of you.
So there was a chance, though, that you could have gone on and there was nothing.
Yep. Oh,
that the rumors might have been true. Yeah. So wow. Yeah. Talk about a roll of the dice. That's awesome.
That stuff just blows my mind. I've never seen other rock like that. It's just so unique.
Yeah, as I said, I wish I could show you better pictures, but this camera doesn't do it. Although I assume most people that are watching this podcast have seen my videos,
yes,
and has probably seen the proper shots of that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, right. Insert Dan Hurd video here. Like that's all you gotta do.
I feel like at this point you are probably the most requested guest by a wide margin.
True.
So
absolutely. And so on that claim, has there been anything else to speak of, or is it just the ocean?
As far as rocks go, just the Ocean Picture Stone, although within the Ocean Picture Stone, there's a big variety of stones.
Nice.
Yeah, right from, well, you know it for the blue chalcedony there, but the blue ranges right from that deep blue of the Dana blue up to a bright green. And everything in between, and then all the different patterns, like the ocean patterns. I've got one that I call fishbowl because it almost looks like fish swimming in the blue. All sorts of different patterns in there. And on the same property is an old gold silver mine, which I've recently gone into a partnership with a mining company that they're going to try to develop that gold mine into something more. And I sold them sort of half the rights to the claim. I still have 100% of the rights to the rock. They have 100% of the rights to the metals. And as part of the deal, they have agreed to actually put permits in and bring equipment up there for me to harvest the Ocean Picture Stone with machinery. So pulling thousands of tons out at once rather than, a couple 100 pounds at a time.
Wow.
That is awesome.
Exciting.
Yeah, I've actually been talking with someone who wants to take a container load, a big load of Ocean Picture Stone down to Tucson, not this year, but next year.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That would be.
Yeah. Put it on your schedule, everybody.
You're right.
You can't go up to BC. All right. And so I was actually wondering, you said that you love being outside and you spend a lot of time there. So what would you say was the strangest thing that you've come across while you've been gallivanting in the adventurous outdoors?
Oh, there's so many.
So
many. Right from, squatters on my claims, people, of all sorts, of all varieties of people that we find out there. Probably the most bizarre thing or scary thing I didn't find, but a buddy of mine did. We were out on what I call my dream claim. That's where I find the nuggets, all the big nuggets. If you want to insert the picture of the nuggets I found here, my buddy Bryson and Pioneer Polly, were scuba diving, snorkeling the creek, seeing if they can find nuggets underwater. And we're in a very steep canyon, like very tall, very steep, and in the water below. And Bryson was just picking around underwater, turned his head sideways, and came face to face with a mountain sheep that had obviously fallen into the river and died, and was on the bottom. And it was, bloated. It was, it was definitely dead. But he's face to face with a dead mountain sheep underwater.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, to just.
I didn't see your panties after that. Like the new wetsuit, please.
He came out of the water pretty quick there.
I bet. Oh. Yeah, and I'd be taking that stew off of me too, good answer. I always love hearing those.
Yep.
The weird and the strange and the scary. How about you, Kurt? Have you got a question?
I'll ask one that I normally ask. Relating to animals, do you have any interesting experiences with live animals?
People knock over my rocks here. People ask all the time if I'm afraid of the bears. Absolutely not. I see bears all the time out there. They're always running away from me so fast. Like, I've never had a bear encounter that has made me, my heart start going afterwards. Bears don't scare me at all. I love seeing them out there in the wilderness. You have to be smart. You can't do stupid things around bears. You have to be smart. But they don't scare me at all. I think the only time that, something happened that really made the hair on the back of my neck go up, it wasn't rock hounding, actually. It was fishing. But we had walked into a walk-in fishing lake with our belly boats and rods and everything. The whole group of us were all getting ready to go out onto the lake. And I start getting my gear ready, and I realize I have my rod, but I don't have my reel. I was just, I left it back at the quad. Like, stupid me. So I turn around and hike back to the quad. It's only like a 10-minute walk. It's not far. It's very close. And on the way back to the quad, I see right in the middle of the walking path, very, very fresh cat droppings, large cat droppings.
Oh no.
Yep.
That scared me because the cat was stalking us down the trail. We're walking down the trail. He's stalking in behind us.
Now you're alone.
And now I'm alone. Obviously, the cat's looking at me from somewhere. Yeah. So that's probably the only time that anything has actually scared me as far as animals go, other than rattlesnakes. Rattlesnakes, I've had the odd, scary encounter with rattlesnakes, jumping over a rock and having one rattle at me.
Yep.
Yeah, it's never fun.
Oh my gosh, it's so easy to get distracted by doing the thing that you're so passionate about doing, be it fishing or rock hounding. You kind of lose track of don't just step willy-nilly or stick your hand underground someplace, It's like, you come across
my joking answer to that when people ask me if I'm afraid of the wildlife is that there's only one thing I'm afraid of, and that's the mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I can agree with
that. Yeah. How about you, Theo?
I always like to joke with Alexis that because we've done a lot of rock hunting in Montana and Florida now. So we like to say that the rattlesnakes here in Montana are more polite than the ones in Florida because they'll actually tell you when they're upset. The ones in Florida, they don't give you that warning. So I'll take the rattlesnakes over the moccasins. So in Kyle's absence, I have to ask his most asked question, which is, if money was no option. No, I did this last time. Karen
Object.
teased me. Object. Sorry. It's been a long day.
Money is not an option.
Non-optional. If you had the option of not it being an object. Sorry. Where in the world would you want to prospect or rock hunt?
I am doing very well on YouTube. I'm doing very well on YouTube. Money is not an option for those kind of things anymore. Object, whatever.
I love it.
Money is not a problem for those kind of things. I think I just did that actually. About a month and a half ago, I was able to go to Hawaii to the green sand beach on Hawaii and do a whole video on the Paradox Beach.
Wow.
That will be coming out on my channel in 2 weeks. So not this Sunday, but next Sunday will be that video. And that was definitely one of my dreams to do. And I was able to do that this last fall here.
Oh, that is so cool.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I know. I clicked after I asked the question. I was like, wait, we've never asked this question to someone with almost 1 million subscribers. They probably could go anywhere in the world they want to go.
Another place I do want to go is Australia. I'd love to go and hang out with Chris from Vogus Prospecting. He is one of my favorite YouTubers. Chris is awesome. And I'd love to go and hang out with him in Australia and do a little bit there. And then maybe where is he? He's on like the West Coast or something like that. And then on the other side, whatever the other side is from Chris, is the nugget hunting. And that would be fun to do too, the metal detecting for nuggets.
Heck yeah.
Good answer. I think that Australia happens to be like, I think on the top of the list for guests. First choice that,
Oh yeah, and if I'm going over there, I have to look for some opal as well.
Oh
yeah. Look for some opal.
You're not allowed back if you don't. Yeah.
You gotta get some of that rainbow lattice sunstone too.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
So many things.
Yeah. Are you close to the Peridot there in BC too? Have you gone out for that?
Yep, we have a couple Peridot sites here that we frequent, and we've got some very nice crystals out of them this last year.
Nice.
The Peridot on Hawaii actually is extremely tiny. It's tiny stuff, but we've got some crystals here up to maybe a ½ inch across.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yummy. One day when I grow up, I get to facet that. But that's going to take a while.
I've only gotten to facet one Peridot, and it was like they cut so willingly and they polish so just well, and it's like, okay, I need to get some more of this stuff because it's one of those rare stones that just behaves itself the whole time.
It is such a beautiful, well, it can be such a beautiful color.
Yeah.
Like I know some of it is kind of milky, and some of it is more of like an olive green, but the stuff on my my Nicklin claim is perfectly like glass clear lime green and beautiful stuff.
Yeah, I love that like electric apple green. Like
yeah,
it's one of the only faceted stones that I've purchased regularly to set. Like, I always had it in my mind. I'm gonna facet, and then I'll be setting those stones because then I'll have earned it. But I couldn't keep my fingers off of it. Like that is just such a beautiful stone. That's cool. It must be so exhilarating to pull that out of the ground.
Oh yeah. Forms, but when it's in the bedrock, like in the basalt, it's in these great big balls of 1 million tiny crystals, and it's sort of luck of the draw if you can break that ball apart and find one or two big ones inside. But you can find these huge masses, or what we call nests, of like olivine crystals, and it's so neat to break them apart. You get handfuls of olivine.
Right, but like somewhat shredded. It sounds like when we find the sunstones, like how they're fractured inside the basalt, and so when you find a pocket of them, they're like, like all these little tiny shards come out, and you're like, no. All right. So let's see. Kurt, have you got any more questions?
No, I do not. There was one question that we used to ask a bunch of our guests, and I can't remember. Kyle used to always ask it. What was it?
Kyle?
Oh, I don't remember anymore.
Bueller.
It was the celebrity, like what celebrity thing?
Oh yeah, I remember that question.
What was it called?
So if you felt like this is Kyle's in the scene, so he should probably ask the question. I just remembered how to ask it.
There we go. Now I can see myself. Oh, I think it was if there was one celebrity that you thought would be like a rock hound or that watches your channel, but like kind of anonymously, so that they don't know, and like people in chat or in comments doesn't know it's them. For example, let's say if Arnold Schwarzenegger was like secretly like a watcher of your channel, like who do you think out of all the celebrities that you would want to be watching your channel is watching your channel?
Oh, I'm not big into celebrities. Yeah.
But they might be big into you.
Who would it be? Who would it be? Without aging myself here, yeah. I have no idea. Who do you guys think would watch me?
I mean, it could be anybody. I mean,
that's always a hard question.
I feel like Nicolas Cage for sure, because I think he's secretly a rock nerd.
There we go.
Who else? Like, see, it's a tough question because like it could be literally me.
I'm like not much of a celebrity person either. So
yeah, I'm not either.
Who's on things?
I do know one Hollywood actress that does watch me, but
oh, cool. All right, let's have it.
Jordan, what's Jordan's last name? I have no idea what Jordan's last name is. It starts with an M. I'm pretty sure of that. Jordan. But she's a rock hounder from out east who also, acts in a lot of Hollywood movies.
Nice.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's really cool.
Do you get recognized a lot when you go out?
All the time. Oh.
Yeah.
Some days I wish I didn't, but yeah.
You got to put your beard in a ponytail or something. Yes. Like just do a different style.
Do a comb over. Yeah, I was in the bank today and two people that were waiting in line stopped me and said, "I know you." Yes, you do.
The burden of being fabulous. It's a tough gig. All right, so what's your favorite food?
Lightning round. All right.
Favorite food's gotta be chocolate. Oh yeah, chocolate.
Yeah.
Theo, did you have any more?
I could probably go on all night. I just looked at the time and I'm trying to be responsible and stay on schedule tonight, but I'm like, all right.
We've been on so far for about 47 minutes recording, so.
Okay. All right.
All right.
How the three of us were all like, okay, Dad, we'll be responsible.
All right. And so on with some show and tell. Now, you did show us a little bit of the ocean. I know you have more.
Oh, I got tons of rock around here. But again, this camera does not do it. I can actually, now that you switched over the screen that I can see myself, I see how grainy I am. It's terrible. Terrible for a YouTuber to have a camera this bad.
We'll chip in and buy Dan a better camera for us.
Start a GoFundMe.
Right.
See, I have a really big, powerful editing computer upstairs, so which I, does everything, but it doesn't have, cameras built in like the laptop, and I do have a webcam somewhere in some cabinet, but I figured it would just be easier to. I have a very, very, very cheap laptop that I take with me on the road. I figured I'd just start it up and use it, but now I'm seeing the error in my ways.
But I like the backdrop. Like it looks like you are in, a castle or something. I like the sconce and like the cool looking door or something there.
It's my basement.
Oh, you're
that's
literally
so cool.
in
That's cool.
like a castle basement. Okay, points for the backdrop.
I taught high school forever, and I was a metalwork teacher. So one of the things that I sort of specialized in my metalwork classes was medieval metalwork. So making armor and stuff like that. And I've decorated my whole basement in the medieval style.
That is so cool.
As if you couldn't have gotten cooler.
I know. I was gonna say, I think, you just definitely just hit a chord with Karen and I.
Yeah, hero material right there.
Yes.
Okay, show and tell. Well, we're gonna see if we can get close enough to the camera without it going too terrible.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I like the layers in that.
This is your stereotypical ocean picture stone. The three layers, the brown, the blue, and the white. And
It looks
See if we can-
frosted.
Oh gosh,
You
it really
know?
does.
It looks edible. I want to eat that.
Oh
now,
my
when
gosh.
we're selling stone, people are always asking. They buy a piece of premium stone. They say, "I want the 3 layers." Well, unfortunately, we sell different grades. We have like the low, the medium, the premium, and then there's this. It's like way above premium. We actually have a few stones that don't even fit into the grading system.
If you have to ask, you can't afford.
Well, exactly. I've had people basically say they want this rock. I bring this to my shows and stuff, and they say, "How much for that rock?" And I say, "You can't afford it." You know, a 1 pound piece of ocean picture stone, that's about 1 pound right there. We sell that for $75. This piece here is probably, a 1/4 pound. But I can make 6 cabs out of that would each sell for $400 or $500.
Wow.
Which means that's kind of a $2,500 rock.
Yeah.
No one's
Yeah.
no one's gonna buy that for $2,500, and that's why I say it's not really for sale, because no one could pay what I could make out of that. So
Yeah.
yeah. But,
Right. And plus you need to make another one that you keep.
yeah, exactly. Somewhere along the way, I've got to make another one that I keep. Yeah. So yeah, we have the typical larger specimens. Oh, where's the camera?
Oh my gosh.
And this is more of our premium stock. Let me throw some oil on that. These are all rough cuts, so they're not polished in any way. Oil makes them a fake.
And if you
polish.
want, you can always email me more pictures too right after this, because I'll still be up for another hour or so.
I got billions of pictures. Yeah, but there's your typical premium stone. That one's there is probably about 3 pounds, and we sell $75 a pound, and that's one of our large specimens.
That looks like Oregon
so
beach,
pretty.
with like the rocks and everything.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
It's so cool.
Yeah, and I showed you the Dana Blue piece earlier, but
Yes.
Let's do it
camera
again.
just-
Yeah. Bring it.
Yes.
Can't get enough of that.
I don't know. Farther
Zoom
away,
is not nice to rock.
It's so beautiful.
Ocean picture. Oh, here's another piece of the Dana Blue seam. Oil enough hand.
Ooh,
Ooh.
yeah.
my
that
gosh.
blue. Yeah. I mean, it's like, sparkly resin blue, it's
Yeah,
like
it is.
almost
Oh,
unbelievable.
it looks so fake, doesn't it? It
Right?
does.
Yeah. Okay. What did you do? Yeah. Is this treated? Yeah.
This is a nice one because it passes light really nice. But I tried this on camera earlier, and it kind of overwhelms the camera.
Oh.
Look at that glow.
Wow.
Oh no!
Wow.
You didn't.
Dang.
Whoa! They killed the camera.
I'm
my
blind.
God.
But
Yeah,
it
I
was
don't think
worth
that's
it.
gonna really show.
I think
That
we can
is
all
so
say
cool.
that we've officially been flashed by Dan Hurd.
Oh, yes.
Oh, wow.
and then slabs. I have thousands of pounds of this rock all around me right now. It's crazy what I have here, and hundreds and hundreds of slabs for the web store.
Ooh,
Look
wow.
at that.
So beautiful.
is
That's
such
like
a
a beautiful
painting.
beat scene. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. This is sort of your stereotypical. You got the beach at the bottom, the water, and then the sky.
That's so cool.
That's amazing.
I want to frame it.
It
And
really
you
never
know,
gets
like,
old.
that is a slab that's for sale. That one will go up on the website.
Kurt.
Where that piece there will never go on the website.
Yeah.
That Dana Blue piece, we sold basically everything we had of Dana Blue, and this is the one piece that we've sort of like, this will never sell. This goes on our display. This one piece is mine. Well, Dana's. My wife's.
I like that though. You need to have the sum that you claim for yourself,
Oh yeah.
Sure. Wow.
Gosh.
Yeah, that is
That's
fantastic.
so beautiful.
Have you been down to Tucson?
I haven't. I might go this year.
You should go.
Unfortunately, I have possibly a trip over to Africa sometime in February, and I don't know
Go
if
to
it's going to
Africa.
mesh with Tucson or not.
Yeah, I'd prioritize Africa over Tucson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You can do it the year after or something.
Yeah.
Well, they have
And
the
then-
September show too.
true.
There's a demi show. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I have a bunch of other BC. I'm really into the British Columbia stones. So anything that's found here in BC is sort of, my priority of things to find, get claims on, sell, that kind of stuff. So jade.
Ooh.
Fraser River is very known for its jade.
Wow.
You're saying words I like, Dan.
Right.
This flashlight is just too much for this camera.
It's too much power.
There we go. There's the jade.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's beautiful.
Yeah. So
Oh,
Fraser River jade is something that I love hunting. Earlier I said how I liked just walking around looking for agates. Well, that's another one that you can just walk the bars of the Fraser River looking for the pieces of jade, and that is so pleasant to do. So you meditate while you walk. It's great. Yeah. We've got this one's too big. We've got the rhodonite.
Oh, I love that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
That's beautiful.
You have
Nice
all the
piece.
pretty pictures.
Yeah. And rhodonite, more rhodonite, the stuff that the lines going through it.
So is the area that you're around very volcanic? Is that the deal?
It's going to be the same kind of mountain ranges that you see down through Washington, Oregon, California. It is that whole same fault, the Rocky Mountains and everything, and west more than that. So yeah, we have lots of volcanics. We have lots of variety, and that's why we have so many rocks and so much gold here in BC. Is because of that, that Pacific fault. That
The subduction that comes up over here is the wrinkled carpet.
And we got Dallasite. It only found on Vancouver Island in BC. Nowhere else in the world. Are you guys familiar with Dallasite at all?
I don't think I've heard of Dallasite.
Do you have it on your website?
Yeah, I sell it on my website. Let's see
I
if the
think
camera will do it.
I was looking at it last night. Or
Wow.
So that's beautiful.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
busy.
Yeah.
I see
Well,
a
just
got
like
stuff going
I see a little
on.
monster face.
Right?
Not
I
even
know,
better
like
piece of Dallasite.
I'm hallucinating immediately. Oh my gosh, I can't get over that metalwork. I'm
I
still
know.
I
It's
know, I
so
know.
cool.
wow.
Yeah, let's see if the cameras can get this one.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
my gosh. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
beautiful.
stunning.
yeah. That
Wow.
is so cool.
So
I love
what is
that.
it?
What is it, man?
You know what pillow basalt is, or pillow lava?
Yeah.
Okay, so Vancouver Island, when it was being formed sort of underwater, had all these volcanic pillow volcanoes making this pillow lava. And everywhere that you'd have two pillows come together with a fracture or a void between them, those voids would fill up with this material. And I
Is it
should know the
silicate?
makeup of it.
Oh,
there's-
here we go.
Yeah, I don't know the makeup of it off the top of my head. I know every time someone asks me, I have to go look it up. But there's about 3 different minerals in there. I believe epidote is one of them. And it's green, You see green, you think epidote right away.
Yep.
There's going to be some silicate, or the white is probably a quartz of some sort. And then
Or
it
zeolite. Our pillows get zeolite inside. Yeah.
I don't think there's any zeolites here, although we do every once in a while get a vug in this, which does grow a different crystal structure in the vug, but that's very rare. Yeah. So unfortunately, no, I can't tell you the mineral makeup of Dallasite at the moment.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's so
yeah,
cool.
what a treat to see that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then, have you guys heard of Pinolite? You may
Yes.
have. It's been making its rounds on social media lately.
Mm,
I don't think I have.
I don't
okay.
do social enough.
No, I'm-
Which piece
I'm
will I show you first?
antisocial.
We'll go with the black and white piece first. Pinolite is a mineral that was forever only ever found in Austria. There was only one deposit in Austria. It was actually mined for its manganese. I think it's manganese, something like it. It was mined for one of the metals back in wartime. But it's a really neat black and white with almost like flowers in it. not a flower stone, but okay, now that I set the stage, recently we found a deposit of it here in BC, and we're starting to try to market Pinolite, BC Pinolite.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
Wow. Wow.
Wow. How have I not heard of this stuff?
You gotta be on the
gorgeous.
socials more.
I
We gotta
know, that's
work
probably my
less and
problem.
social more.
Now, the difference between the new BC Pinolite and the Austrian Pinolite is the Austrian stuff, as far as I can tell, all had a very, very small grain to it, where the BC material often has much bigger crystals.
Cool. Which makes it
That's-
awesome.
Right.
Look at that.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh. That is so cool.
That is.
Wow.
And
All right. I'm sold.
I got more.
I know this is going to cost us money to have been part of.
Wow.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
I think I'm
And
going to
so,
need some of that
do you-
in my life.
Do you know what's making that okay, so there's like yellow, white, and kind of is it black that we're seeing, or
There's
you know?
dark green.
Yeah, it's basically a black and white rock,
Mhm.
but some of it has oxidized yellow. So there's a little bit of pyrite in it, and the pyrite, when it gets close to the surface, it starts to oxidize and gives it that yellow look. Now here's the best piece. Of course, I'm saving the best for last. When I said the crystals can get bigger, we have found some with crystals up to about 10 centimeters long.
Like
Oh my
ice,
gosh.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
That's
That is
amazing.
so cool.
That rock gives me chills.
It's like a
Yeah.
jungle scene or something like that.
It really
Yeah.
is. That is so cool.
That's wild. That's fun. I want to romp through that.
I know, right?
Oh, I got a whole box of it below my feet here.
Just a box full.
I've been doing a lot of cutting in the shop since I haven't been out able to be out prospecting lately.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Oh, that's so
alright.
cool. That piece, like you can see them all kind of converging on a line.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love
Yeah,
that.
there's
The
a couple of
patterning.
there's a couple of seams in it. Yeah.
Yeah, that is so cool.
All
You
right.
know, I
I'm gonna
always
need
wonder
some
how
of
things
this.
are made, you know. It's just like those guys were super having a good time when they were making that rock.
Right.
It was a party in the rock.
That's just so cool.
Yeah.
Actually, the guy that's really trying to promote this stuff, sort of market it out there, he was turned away from a bunch of big sellers. Like he would send off his pictures to them saying, like, would you like to work with my rock? And they came back to him and said, no, we don't want painted rocks. We want natural rocks. They thought he was painting on the rock. Actually, like an artist painting on the rock. And they turned him away because of it.
It's some of that
my
runny
gosh.
acrylic that everybody's into right now.
Yeah,
right? Oh, look at the little
Wow.
ones though. I like that too.
That's cool.
That one is busy.
Right?
Yeah, I like the little grain stuff for making pendants and stuff, because the
Yeah.
big stuff is just too big. You make a pendant out of it, and you've lost everything. Where
Yeah.
with the small grain stuff, you can actually still get a scene in a pendant.
I would wear the whole rock. Yeah. Doing like neck exercises.
That stuff is so cool.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
And apparently, I have a piece of dalasite in my Pinolite box too. More dalasite.
That is
That looks
so
like a mushroom scene right there on the bottom.
I can
That's
see
cool.
Are you
that.
familiar with those?
Apparently.
Now I'm just grabbing random rocks to show you guys.
Hey, that's-
He's got a rock box instead of a bag,
Yes.
Theo.
Yeah,
Whatever's in arm reach.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow, look at that
That
one.
might be my favorite one. That
You
thing
have a
is so
favorite? I
cool.
can't
Wait.
see that yet.
Oh.
It's just such a
Screenshot
perfect.
that.
I mean, they all are perfect scenes, but
Yeah.
I can just see that one so vividly.
In my
This
house.
one's usually sitting on my mantle upstairs, actually.
Yeah,
Definite
I can see
mantelpiece.
why.
Yeah, just,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well
in a-
lit.
yeah, in a little plate holder there.
yeah,
It's in the mantle upstairs.
Oh,
yeah. I can definitely see why.
Yeah. And you know, of course, BC, we have agates of every sort everywhere. Like agates.
No.
Oh, hey.
Coming at you.
Gray agate in BC is, freaking everywhere. We do have so much nicer agate as well, but gray agate, you can get that anywhere you want.
Nice. It's like little gray birds. Like,
so is there anything else you guys want to see or see more of here? Because honestly, I have a room full of rock right now.
It's gonna come over. Thank you. That was beautiful.
Yeah,
that was.
What a festival to see.
Oh my gosh, that stuff is amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna be dreaming about that.
Well, I'm happy that I just wrapped up a sale, so I might be doing some shopping tomorrow.
Theo's got money in his pocket.
It's a bad time or the perfect time. I don't know which one to be showing me all this stuff because I can actually get some of it right now.
It's the holidays.
I'll give you a discount code for the show. Hey, we'll give everyone that's watching a discount code for the store.
Oh, hey.
Cool.
Let's see. 5% discount, DHP05. So Dan Hurd Prospecting, DHP05 will give you 5% off anything in the store.
Perfect.
Like the viewership from like this video just went down. You know what I mean? Like,
they're all gone.
Like up until this point, where did everybody go? Awesome.
I keep making comments like my microphone's muted and I'm like, everyone's gonna be leaving. Thank you, Dan, for offering that for that discount code. That's really
nice.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
Okay, does anybody want to go after that?
Yeah, I can't follow that.
Okay, you don't have to go after that. We forgot one thing. We haven't put up the picture of the pendant.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
My favorite part. My other favorite part.
Yes, this pendant here, I'm sure it's on the screen right now for your viewers, is definitely the favorite pendant I've ever made, the favorite cab. And it just, luck of the draw when I started carving away, what wasn't meant to be a pendant. The ocean scene came out of it so perfectly. In the end, the water looks like a great big rolling wave. Yeah. And there happens to be just the end of a dendrite left on the blue, which if you look closely, almost looks like a surfer going down that rolling wave.
That's so cool.
Yeah. I kick myself now for having sold that pendant. I got a fair bit for it, so I did well selling it, but I kind of wish I had kept that one.
Somebody's out there right now going, my
the one.
Oh yeah, that is gorgeous. But you know what? You're gonna make another one. You're gonna find another killer wave, and maybe there will be two servers on it. Somebody dropping in on somebody else. Yeah.
Get a dolphin in there or something.
Dolphin, yeah, right. The surfer's riding the dolphin.
Yeah.
That is absolutely spectacular. Thank you for showing that. Yeah. Thanks for all of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All of it.
You're welcome.
All right, Kurt, how about you? Let's have a look at what you.
I'll make it quick. And it's not anywhere near as exciting as what Dan just showed. The first two are so like a few weeks ago, I was making a lapidary video where I was cutting some Missouri lace that Dustin Finds Rock sent me, and I just basically finished wrapping these in copper, and I haven't sealed the back of it yet. Just because I'm gonna take the stones out and put an extra polish on them. But that's one, and then the other one's right here. It's really hard to see. Hold on, let's try this. That's gonna drown out the light.
You guys and your flashlights.
Yeah, there will be a video or a photo of what it looks like that Kyle will put up for you guys.
Nice
and
work.
Working on those, and then also about 2 weeks, or I guess right around Thanksgiving, we went out and we were hiking a canyon down in Mesa County in Colorado, and we found a lot of stromatolites in limestone, which is like a microorganism bacteria, which is about 3.5 to 4 billion years old. And I found a little piece of that I thought was like a carnelian agatized stromatolite, but it was actually I was cutting that, and it's actually a lot softer than carnelian, and I found out that it's travertine.
Travertine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which polishes up really spectacular. But when we were in that canyon, I was out at night with my black light and my geopick, and there was parts of the creek bed that would just light up from the ice, and just like patches of like white. So like I was hacking away with my geopick and found a few pieces of like nice size pieces of travertine stromatolites.
Wow.
So this is the best piece that I found yet, and haven't been able to go back out there since. But you can in the photos, and I don't know if you can see in the videos, but there is a lot of layers of the stromatolite, and then there's a nice little druzy area right here. So I'm wanting to get back out, hike the canyon, and see if we can find this. Which travertine is normally found in areas where there is like the mouth of like a cave or a hot springs, mineral spring. So I think the canyon goes back like 25-30 miles. So there's a lot of hiking involved. But that'd be cool to find larger pieces of travertine stromatolites. So and I'm working on that video. I'm working on editing that video and getting that out.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Heck yeah.
That would be
I
a
love
killer
travertine.
discovery. Yeah.
There's a lot of it right outside of the park, the Yellowstone Park. Like in the Gardner area where you're outside of the park. Obviously can't do any hunting in the park, but there's they actually used to quarry travertine like right outside of Gardner, and there's some really, really cool material. It's a dream to carve. It behaves.
Yeah.
I
Michelangelo used travertine, didn't he? I think he did.
Think so. That sounds right.
Yeah. So yeah, Theo, Michelangelo, add yourself to that list. Yeah, you should try carving that, or carving some, Kurt. That would be super fun.
Yeah, maybe. There's like a couple. Most of it is like an orange. Cannot say orange. Orangey brown tone, and then found a couple pieces that are like more of like a white with like a slight yellow hue to it, which is really pretty. And then they have a beautiful afterglow when you use the black light. They glow for probably a second or two after the light turns off.
Oh, the phosphorescence?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow, I wonder if like, Michelangelo's David like glows like a rave, Somebody's got to break in and see if that.
Yeah.
It just turns out it's a Uper light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Kurt. That was awesome. I wish you luck on finding the rest of it.
Yes.
Yeah. Then show us the boulders. How about you, Theo?
I have 5 things, but two different things. 4 are the same thing, and I'm just gonna go through them really quick.
Well, that was clear.
Yeah, I figured I'd be concise.
Thank you.
So Derek the Rockmaster, as you guys know, came to visit. We went rock hounding for 7 days straight and just found some awesome stuff. We had so much fun together. And when he got back to Florida, he sent me a box and told me I was not allowed to open it until I was recording because he wanted to see my reaction. So that unboxing video will be happening on Saturday. But he sent me a box filled with just some of the most amazing agatized coral.
Ooh, look at those colors.
Go inside.
I was gonna say, I think you can literally like get inside of that one.
Oh my gosh, look at it. It's got like the whole cave scene going on.
Yeah. I literally just grabbed 4 at random. They're all just so amazing. This one has some amazing red and orange color inside of it.
Wow.
But the cool thing is just how nice the actual coral texture is on the outside. Like some of the agatized coral, they look more agate because all the coral definition has gone away, but all of these are just so clearly coral. Speaking of, look at the honeycomb pattern on this one.
Oh, I like that.
It's honeycomb, but then you roll it over and look at all the bots.
Just stop it.
Just betrayed them. And that continues on Oh, I just, where is it? There it is.
So
Got moths and then honeycomb. Like, that's just so cool.
Is the coral permineralized like completely, or?
Yes. I'll show you just how. They call it agonized coral for a reason.
Oh my god.
Because it's extremely agonized. This one, he actually polished a bunch of them, and I think this might be my favorite one that he polished. Look at the velvet druzy in there.
That's beautiful.
The whole pocket has just that nice velvety blanket of druzy. This stuff is so pretty.
I think I need to see that closer.
Trying to get it to not be shaded so it'll sparkle more willingly. But yeah, he's got a beautiful polish on that. It's just so cool. And I don't want to jinx it because I'm not 100% sure yet. It's more like an 80% sure at this point. But I'm going to be going down there in February. First 2 weeks of February. There's a solid chance I'm going to get to go diving for this stuff. And I'm so freaking excited to go hunt for my own agatized coral because this stuff is some of my favorite material on the planet. And then while Derek was in town, we went and did a bunch of, one of the days we went hunting for smoky quartz clusters, little double terminated phantom quartz clusters. They're like really, really cool. So this was probably my nicest piece, but I decided that I wanted it to be nicer. So I left it in iron out for like 3 weeks. If I'm being honest, I forgot it was in there. I'm really happy I did because this specimen is so nice now.
Wow.
There's just so many crystals in here. It did not look like this before. And then you flip it on the side. All of those little glitters are like, you've got bigger crystals up front. And then on the back side, it's just a mesh of like itty bitty tiny little crystals, and every single one of these crystals with a light on it is a phantom. So there's like another crystal inside of it. And where's this one right here is the good example. They are all double terminated.
That's nuts.
It's so cool. I love this piece. It was already my favorite from that day, but after cleaning it, this thing is just so much nicer than I realized. It's so cool.
Have any of those become victims to your faceting machine?
They are not clear enough to facet, unfortunately. They don't have because they have the milky phantom structure on the inside, they're not really like faceting grade, but that's okay. We can go to Butte to get our facetors.
Gotcha.
Are any of them big enough to cab with the phantom in the cab?
Actually, yes, probably some of them are, because we have several. I don't know how well this is going to show. That one right there.
Yeah.
We have some that are like 2 to like 5 times bigger than that biggest crystal on this mesh that we found by themselves. And those still show phantoms. I haven't actually tried cabbing any. I should do that.
That might look great with the phantom just under the surface of the cab.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
All
right. Well, I know what I'm doing tomorrow.
What a fantastic idea.
Yeah,
we all want to see that. All right.
Yeah, I will send all of you pictures so that you can, because I don't know why that never occurred to me.
You needed a nudge from Dan.
I think so, yeah.
You're hired to breathe some of our brain. That's great. All right. Do you have anything else? Is that it?
I'm sure there's another agate laying around somewhere, but
you have the box still underneath you.
The agate bag. No, I actually took it to work so that I could replace it, but I forgot to bring it back.
Yes, we need to refresh the bag.
Yeah, need to change out the agate bag.
Right on. Well, thank you.
Of course.
Mine is super fast. On account that it's only one thing. It's 3 things, but it's only one thing. As clear as Theo. I was alluding to this before. I finally got my faceting machine sort of up and running. It's 15 degrees off kilter, and anybody who facets like,
Yep.
You have to do a bit of math to catch up with that problem. And it's not able to make a girdle right now. And so I have to figure out how to hack that problem. And it looks like right on the horizon, there will be custom bits and pieces for my piece, the stuff that's broken on that, so that I can bring it up to full Death Star operation. So until that happens, I'm going to be learning a lot. And I'm so happy that I had a chance to dop up a stone. In my first picture, I've got it in a few different phases of faceting, so that you can get an idea of how the different levels of the faceting goes. Two of them, the first two in that section of 3, are the facets of each part of the pavilion, which is the bottom of the stone. You start bottom up. The third one is actually after I've transferred it, because you think about the logistics here. You've got like 2 sides of a stone that you have to polish. So you have to dop it one way, and then you have to transfer it the other way. And that's pretty dodgy, because if it's not perfectly aligned, then, you know, all of the top is like wonky from the bottom. And so that's a nerve wracker. And so I got that going, and this bad boy started at 10 carats. You look at that picture with my fingers. Anybody want to make a guess as to how many carats that bad boy is now? You can go ahead and make your guesses.
Your guesses down below.
Exactly. I'll reveal in a bit. And so the second picture is is after I released the stone. And the first thing that I found out, when you dop the stone, you either use wax glue, resin, something that's going to hold on to your stone. And if you have a break in your stone, like a fissure or, you know, a fracture that you didn't have a chance to really see, it might still stay glued together because you used glue to dop it. And so then when you take it off of the dop and you dissolve the glue, guess what happens?
A piece stays behind.
Yeah. And so
don't ask me how I know that.
I was feeling alone in the world. But I mean, seriously, I think at every stage of what you're seeing in those 2 pictures, I was probably talking to Theo every about 15 minutes to half hour. I mean, over the course of several days.
Yeah.
She was.
Yeah.
Yeah, easily.
I had to turn my notifications off on the messenger.
So did I.
Okay, Kurt and Kyle, I owe you a huge apology, because we were blowing up the message.
Yeah.
Sure. So sorry about that.
Best case scenario, if I buy a fastening machine, I get into fastening, I can just search
go back. Yeah.
I just go through my pain all over again. You guys, I'm so sorry about that. And so at any rate, so when you take it off, you can see that there's clearly the side missing in the first one. And the second one, you can see these scratches across the face. And I was like, I polished that so good. And I was using the loop and everything. And actually on the last, which was a cerium oxide, they were getting deeper. And I was like, you know, did my brand new lap come already, you know, contaminated? And it turns out that the schiller was actually coming up, and the more I polished, the more the face fractured away from the schiller, which is the copper inside. In this particular stone, instead of it being that pretty blush pink, it's actually silver from the valence of the you know, whatever else was going on in the stone. And so that's what you're seeing in that one. It wasn't that I was being a total meh. And the third one actually almost looks decent. And I took that one just to like make myself feel better.
Hey, for your first facet, that is leagues above my first stone that I faceted.
Well, because I eyeballed the circle and everything, I thought it was going to be like, seriously, you know, like what mutant? But thank you, Theo.
Of course.
You know, my drip tub for it was filled with tears, you know, and I had to look at that. But apparently that lubricates laps better. So,
it does, yeah.
Yeah,
it does. I can say from experience that it does.
And so the third picture is actually a close-up, so that you guys can have a look at that. It turns out photographing faceted stones is totally hard. And
it
so there's a piece of lint to demonstrate that. There's the clearly broken area. And then you can see, actually, I thought it was going to be fancy if there was like a little bit of schiller in there. You know, I'm like, okay, I'll kill two birds with one stone. I knew it was like not the best stone as far as sunstone goes, but everybody complains about how you face the schiller properly in a sunstone. And so I read up a bunch about that and, you know, started off with this one. You can see there's a cloud of blue to the left of the stone. That's schiller. And that's the platelet style that, like, if you use a magnifying glass, it looks like platelets of blood. And, you know, and sometimes they're pink and sometimes they're the blue, or, you know, you see those beautifully colored sunstones that are teal and different colors, and that's what they are. And then a lot of times they are strands, like they line up the way that the crystal structure, you know, along the lattice. And so the one to the right is actually lined up that way. And so I'm not going to call it a total fail because I learned so much. And Kyle and Kurt understand this.
They know how much you learned.
Yes.
Because we sent each other easily about 300 messages back and forth.
Minimal.
Okay, so
next time we'll just do a different chat.
You think? We have it in our power to just keep it to ourselves.
It's okay.
We didn't mean for it to be like that.
It's okay.
You're fine.
Thanks. There were pictures to look at least.
Yeah. I drew lots of diagrams.
You did. Oh, look at this. This is.
Oh, you printed it out.
I did. So, and with notes, like, that's 15 degrees off of each one. And so, yeah. And that was, you know, I'm surprised that doesn't, you know, there's tears on this one too. And so, keep an eye out for more of these. I may or may not make a video about this incredible, you know, thing. I know I have a running dialogue that I can refer to for the video.
Yeah.
So more to come, and I, you know, Steinkern about it. And so that's my show and tell, and we would love to know, before we move on to the words of wisdom, social medias that we can find Dan at. So where do we find you on online?
Well, the primary place is my YouTube channel, for sure. Dan Hurd Prospecting on YouTube. I am on Facebook. I do produce a lot of videos that go to Facebook and not YouTube. And then I'm also on TikTok, Instagram, all over the place out there. And my website, www.danhurdprospecting.com. That's where we sell our stones, and, you know, my videos are posted there as well. But primarily on YouTube, for sure.
Awesome. All right. And so with that, do you have any wise words for our viewers, Dan?
Sure. Of course I do. Lots. But I think the number one thing, I have people ask me all the time, how do I get started? How do I get started into, whether it's gold panning, prospecting, you know, rock hounding, cabbing, whatever it might be. How do I get started? And my standard answer is always find a club. Whether it be a lapidary club, a prospecting club, find a club and get involved. Lots of people want to know, you know, where do I go? Like, where's the site I want to go to? Well, that's jumping the gun a bit. Go find a club. Get involved with the club. They're going to take you to those sites. They're going to teach you how to find the right spots. You're going to make friends that will invite you out on trips. The biggest thing to get started out there is to find like-minded people. And the easiest way to do that is find a club.
Yeah,
Yes,
that is the
I agree.
best ever advice for folks getting into it. I think that we have a mutual friend, sadly, that has passed. Jared was part of your club, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've got to go out with him a few times. I worked in the shop many times with him. And yes, very sad. I had no idea until it had happened.
Yeah, and he was a huge fan. Like he'd
was.
come back and
Mhm.
you know, message me like, "Woo, this is so cool."
Yes.
So
the geodes he was pulling out this last year with the crystals and the structures inside were something else.
Yeah.
And just amazing what he was getting. Well, he had all sorts of amazing things he was finding, but those geodes he was pulling out were stunning.
Yeah, they really
so
were.
you meet the coolest people at the clubs, guys. So you never know who you're gonna, run across or hang out with. So definitely go check out your clubs. Thank you for
You're
that.
welcome.
And Kurt, how about you? Words?
Yeah, so with the winter season here and the snow is here, if you live in an area, make sure if you're going out rock hounding that you have like a pair of like shoe spikes that go on the bottom of your shoes to help prevent you from slipping and falling. And make sure you have extra food, water, and then some blankets. Throw it in your trunk or the back of your vehicle just in case of an emergency situation where your car breaks down and you can't get back, or you run out of gas, or just something random. Make sure you have those just to be prepared.
That's a great bit of wisdom. Check your
Especially
weather
this time of
forecast,
year.
Yeah, check your weather too.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Do your spikes fit on your sandals?
Yeah, they do. I got them like I think it's like a set for like $10 at Walmart, and you can strap them onto your shoe or sandals
in the snow.
Yeah. Good to go.
Sweet.
Personally, I wear Crocs when I go rock hounding.
Dude, I am wearing Crocs right now.
I wear water shoes everywhere.
I know you do, Kurt. Like it's freezing cold, and he's like walking through the water.
We were out walking the other night, and it was like snowing, and I'm like bundled up with my jacket, water shoes.
You need a sponsorship by Keen or something.
I've tried.
Keep trying. They're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
You're a gold mine. All right, Theo.
Mine actually has to do with your the whole faceting endeavor, but you can apply it to so much, and that is there's never a point where you should give up.
And that is like punny.
Yep. Man, I do that all the time, and I never mean to. I just speak in puns, apparently. No, so when you found out that your machine was off, she sent a message and said like, I'm not doing this. Like, I can't make it work. And we're like, no, how much does it drift? She's like, well, I don't know. I was like, okay, well, go look. If it drifts a set amount, we can work around that. Like, it may drift, like 12 degrees, but so long as it doesn't go past that point, you can calculate that difference into every setting. And she's like, oh, that makes sense. So she goes, checks.
Wait,
15
I think
degrees.
I have the tools.
I was like, we're in this, man. Don't give up hope.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. And so my words of wisdom that go along with yours is, if you lose all hope, talk to a good friend. Yes. Somebody is going to kick your butt into doing it. Yeah, both you and Steve were just like, you can do it.
Yeah, just
I'm like, but it's impossible. No, you can do it.
It would have been impossible if it was drifting past, like if the drift wasn't predictable, but considering that it stopped at a set amount, it's like, yeah, you just add 15 degrees on.
Yeah. I took 4 different measurements. Luckily, like what's on there right now, like right at the tip of my finger, is a 45-degree angle holder for the tabletop. Mm-hmm. And so I could go to all these different angles and find out that the drift was regular. Now, if it was an irregular drift, then, once again, we were, I would have been using it as a flat lap, right?
Yeah, exactly.
For a while. But no, like I was like 15 degrees. Oh my God.
There's
we're
hope.
back in business. Yeah. So yeah, keep on trying, or talk to somebody who can like cajole you into keeping on.
Yeah. Again, there was a good deal of peer pressure involved.
Yeah, I love it. All right. Have you got anything else for our listeners, Dan?
No, I don't. Thank you guys for having me on here, and thanks for all your listeners for sticking with us for this whole time.
Yep.
And wish you luck out there with whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you so much for coming on. And
yes.
I'm so excited to see that roll over to 1 million.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That
yeah,
is gonna
totally.
be so cool.
He's gonna get
I'm
a
really
fancy
hoping it
button.
happens by New Year's.
Oh, that'd be what a way to start 2023.
Right. Man behind the curtain, do you have something?
I was gonna say that we went past our hour expected mark. So Dan, if you're ever in the area, let me know. I'll buy you a dinner or a drink or something when you're passing through.
And show
Yeah,
him
make
the
that
Iron
too.
Obsidian.
Oh yeah, I can also do that too.
Nice. Well, yes, thanks again, Dan. It has been an
Yes, thank
absolute
you.
pleasure. And sadly, that wraps up another Rockhound podcast. Thank you so much for joining us and making it all the way to the end. On behalf of the podcast crew and all of us, have a wonderful rock-filled weekend. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you next week. Thanks again.
Bye, everyone.